Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. Today we have 18 Bath & Body Works empties to chat about. So let's go ahead and dive in with candle. I sort of have a real candle burning boom going on right now for arguably a very silly reason, and that is the light bulb in my wax warmer went out, and rather than replacing it, which requires me to place an order, I have just been burning candles both downstairs and upstairs in my bedroom. So that has led me to burn a lot of candles. I have quite a roundup here, but then I also have most of the non-Bath & Body Works candles in my collection burned through as well. So let's just start first with the 3 wicks that I've burned. So I burned through the Shoreline Hydrangea, which I picked up this past spring. I knew I would like this scent. It is a beautiful, it's such a beautiful floral scent. I love the wraparound that this came with. This one was Dewy Hydrangea Petals, Salty Air, and Cedarwood. I just thought it was a lovely, lovely scent. I would certainly pick more of this up if I could come across it, and I didn't feel like the burn was problematic in any way, so it checked off a lot of boxes. I really enjoyed this one. I also burned through another one that I picked up this past spring, which was Moonlit Goddess. This scent is just really doing it for me. I have yet to come across it in a form that I don't like it. I originally had it as a body lotion, really liked it. I have it as a hand soap in today's trash talk, and I really liked it. And I really liked it as a candle too. The packaging was just okay. There was a bit more sooting than I would say typical candles have had for me recently, but it burned all the way down with no problems, no flaws. So again, would probably pick this up again if I came across it. Then the last one from ones I most recently purchased is from the Princess 2.0 collection, and it is the Belle, which I purchased last year and repurchased this year. I have to say, I'm a little bummed about some of the choices in the 2.0. First off, there was no reveal as you burned on the inside like there was last year, which I don't know, I feel like is an unnecessary downgrade. And then I also noticed as it was burning that the overlay, like the see-through piece to go through the overlay, didn't really shine through, and it just didn't feel like it was as good of a candle as last year's version, which again, kind of annoying, but it was fine. I don't think I would buy it again after this experience. It was a little bit more sooty, but it burned all the way down. Again, I just feel like some of those smaller detail touches that they had in last year's version should have easily made a reappearance in this year's and didn't. And so for that, I'm just sort of like, okay, I burned it, but not probably gonna buy another one if they do another round of princesses next year. I then opted for a single wick candle. This is not something I ordinarily would purchase, but during the winter semi-annual sale, I was really into the idea of this scent, and it was the Free as a Flower. So I purchased it when I was buying stuff online, and I have to say, I really enjoyed this scent. It was light. It was perfect for my bedroom, which is what I had been saving it for anyways, but I hadn't pulled the trigger on it because I had been so heavily wax melting, but it had some squidginess. It was fine though, overall. Again, I'm not out here buying single wicks on the regular. It has to be a really rare moment. I'm also pretty sure they brought this out as a 3 wick this spring, and I smelled it and didn't end up liking it enough to want to buy it, which I think is really interesting, but this was really great. I also burned through 2 older 3 wicks in my collection. The first was a Love. I had contemplated keeping, I have like a bunch of candles from around this time, which I think was around 5 years-ish ago, maybe not as old, but between like 3 to 5 years old. I have a bunch of candles that I had been contemplating keeping to use for wax melting. And the truth of it is, I have done that with a couple of my 3 wick candles, and I've never turned to them to melt them because I'm always working through my render wax, which I am very aware has a very specific shelf life and longevity to it. So for that reason, I said to myself, well, this wax isn't gonna last forever either. You may as well just burn through some of these candles. And this did not disappoint. It is a beautiful scent. I love that no matter how many times they seem to retire this scent, it consistently comes back in different packaging with slightly different names, but the scent stays the same. I don't know if it has recently come back as a 3 wick candle. I can't imagine I would have passed it up if it did, but it's come back as body care, which is super satisfactory for me. So the candle smells exactly like the body care. It is great. It had some squidging. But even smelling it here, It's such a beautiful, delicate scent. I really love it. So I was really happy to burn through it. And then my last one was last year's Happy Easter Daffodil Daydreams. This is also one that I repurchased when it was out at semi-annual sale, and it's such a nice scent. No like real burn issues to it. So beautiful. It basically doesn't really give off a flower scent to me. It's basically like the whipped marshmallow cloud type of scent that they have all the time in body care that they constantly try to rebrand and repackage, but it's a nice scent. I liked it a lot. It's a light one, but a beautiful one, and would definitely buy it again if I could. All right, let's switch over to body care. I have two body creams. One is the At the Beach. This is basically one that I really wanted to use my free travel coupon for. I just love this scent. Any variation of this, they have At the Beach. They have another one that I never remember the name of, but it's also really good. This is just a beautiful, like coconutty, salty scent. And it's perfect for this time of year. So I squeezed it in before I switched over to my body lotions. And then I also managed to use up the Mulan from this year's Princess collection. This one had Magnolia Blossom, Fierce Waters, and Radiant Apricot. I have to say, I definitely got tired of this scent. It smelled different on application than I feel like it smelled in the packaging. In the packaging, I like the scent a lot, but it wouldn't be one that I repurchased. So I'm glad that I got through it and don't have it lingering now that I'm officially into my body lotions. Speaking of body lotion, I have one. I have the Gingham Gorgeous. Ooh, this was such a good scent. I hope this stays around. I feel like it might get a repackage. It's always sort of being repackaged. They had that sort of Gingham mini extension collection that came out, which I was surprised by because it felt like after the first iteration of an extension, which I think had 4 or 5 scents in total, including the original Gingham, this was the only one that survived that limited collection. Oh, it's so good. I definitely love the scent of it. It's one of the ones that I have to use sparingly. I can feel myself getting sick of it if I were to use more and more of it, but it was a real nice way to kick off body lotion season. We have 2 shower gels from Ben. First, a travel one that I used a coupon for. This is in graphite, very basic, one of the OG scents of theirs. And then we also have Deep Ocean. Like I'll say with all the body care for men, they have the same general base formula, and then they just add a few different variations to the scent to get different varieties. This one has a bit more of like a cedar, sharper spice note than typically the graphite would, which to me is more just straight men's cologne, but they're both very nice and I get them for a discount price, and I always just keep my eye out for any discounted men's body care. And then I have one shower gel, which is Princess Tiana. Oh, this scent, man, it's so good. I'm so glad they brought it back this year. I loved it. I used it as a body cream first, and I'm real sad I don't have any more of the body cream. And so then I was looking at what can I use next when picking out a shower gel. So I decided to grab one of these. I have one more in my collection, which I don't know if this scent will come back again. I can't imagine if they do a third Princess collection that they would keep her around unless it was as popular as I thought it must have been first time, because this sold out. This was the one Princess that sold out across the collection near me the first time. So I was so happy to see it the second time and bought it in a bunch of different variations. But I just don't know if they would give it a third go around unless they're short on Princesses, and this sold really well again. But it's such a beautiful scent. I love it so, so much. Okay, we can talk hand soaps. I've got 4 of them. 2 are scents we already talked about, Moonlit Goddess and Princess Tiana. These are both beautiful, and it's not always the case that if I love something in a candle or body care that I'll then love it in a hand soap, but these smelled exactly like both the 3-wick candle and like the body care, which I love to see. So, so yummy. I'm sad that they're gone, but they were a pleasure to use. Next one that I have is Coconut Linen. This was good, but it definitely is a one and done. The linen note, the sort of like laundry detergent piece of the scent that was in here, came true more than it does when you smell it in the bottle. So I don't love that. I don't really love the smell of fabric softener. I don't use fabric softener, so wouldn't get this one again, but it was nice to just try out and to sort of extend more into my coconut phase that I seem to be in. And then I also have Seaside Sweater, which has really similar packaging to the Shoreline Hydrangea scent. This was kind of a womp womp. It smells so nice in the packaging, and the notes of this one were vanilla, amber, and cozy sweater. But it just kind of was like a generic scent when I was using it in actuality. And it was one of the ones that I was like, okay, I won't be sad when this is gone. I won't want to keep using it. Like, I was ready for it to be done. I would not buy it again. And then we have 2 sanitizers. First, I have a pocket back. It is Vampire Blood. Super out of season, but it's what I had in my closet, so I pulled it out to use it. The only ones that I will not pull out, because I am going to run out of this stuff soon, are my Pine Tree Farm ones. Oh, I love that scent. I could use it all year round, but I don't want to. The ones that I have left, I've started to fall deep into the Dollar Tree hand sanitizer. Those smell so freaking good. So I've been purchasing some of those. I'll start using those more heavily and have sort of fallen away a little bit from pocket backs, but I'm sure I'll come back to them. This scent was delightful as usual. And then one for my classroom. It's the Fiji White Sands. This is one that I purchased, I think just with like a regular discount coupon. These don't tend to get lumped into typical sales, although I'm seeing more and more of these being shelved at stores, which I'm very happy to see. So hopefully they start to get lumped into grouped sales of theirs. But I wanted to have something different from Winter Candy Apple, which I still have either like 2 or 2.5 of for my classroom, but these scents are really strong. And when you're in a classroom all day with students using it, you get that smell a lot. This one actually, I couldn't repurchase. I just got so sick of the scent. It is a really strong scent. It has like that coconut. It gives me like at the beach, but more coconutty per se. It was so strong and I got really sick of it. So I wouldn't buy this one anytime soon, but I'm happy to have had a little variety for Winter Candy Apple. All right, and there you have it. Those are all of the 18 recent Bath & Body Works items that I have used up. I so appreciate you being here, and I'll catch you in my next video real soon. Bye.